Hi, I'm a retired psychology professor, and I've taught many classes on stress management as well as a multitude of various psychology courses. But today I'm going to talk to you about the power in your life and how to reduce stress. Specifically, I'm going to talk about control and choices. In psychology, there's two personality types: internal locus of control and external locus of control. Internal locus people believe they have choices in their life and they exercise those choices. They have control in their life. They exercise that control. They use their authority, their power to control, make choices. And they tend to have less stress. External locus person believes that they don't have any choice. They don't have any power. They don't have any control. So they believe they're being moved around by luck and chance. And they tend to do more complaining. And they don't see that they have choices when they truly do have choices. So something as simple as a bride not worrying about the weather on her wedding day because she has no choice. Can't control the weather. That's an internal locus. The external person is going to worry about the weather on their wedding day and obsess about it and not come up with plan B in case it does rain. They have more stress in their lives. So let's take a relationship. If you have a choice to stay in the relationship or to get out, and the internal locus person will realize that and will live with the way that it is because they made the choice to stay, or the external locus person would just do more complaining about the situation rather than trying to improve it, where the internal locus person might go through some counseling and talk to the other partner and try to resolve issues. So first of all, realize that you have choices in a relationship, choices in everything you do. Something as simple as laundry. You have a choice to do laundry or not. You don't have to do laundry, but live with the consequences of dirty clothes. So sometimes you need to see things as clear cut. You have choices, and it's going to make that pill easier to swallow when you realize you have choices. And that's one way to try to get out of the external locus personality into an internal locus personality, knowing that you have choices and exercising those choices, having control and exercising that control, and realizing when you don't have control. So when you don't have control over a situation, what do? Well, people will say, I'll give it to God. Well, that intrigued me because I thought, well, what does God have to do with psychology? Because in all my training, never have they connected psychology and God. And as I've been researching all of this, I've realized that they took God out of psychology. So let's talk about giving it to God. What does that mean? Does that really work? Well, by giving it to God, giving your problems to God, that means you're praying. If you're praying, you've got control. It's giving you a sense of control. And that sense of control does give you a sense of peace. It reduces your stress. So yes, it does tie in. The other thing is choice. God gave us free will. We have choices. And God will never override man's will. So sometimes that's how we get ourselves into messes, because we're thinking God's going to pull us out of it. And it's our choice. He gave us that choice. And we have to live with those consequences or not. So the other thing that, where do we get our power and our authority and our control from? Well, Jesus gave us that with his death and resurrection on the cross. And that covenant that we made, that new covenant we made with God that says that he'll give us this peace, authority, the power over our health, our finances, our peace. And the only thing we have to do is accept that and say, yes, I accept that that's what really happened, and that was what the true covenant was all about. So we need to accept it and then exercise our authority. And Otherwise, Jesus died in vain. And he's not going to die again to give you that power and authority back to you. He wants you to use it now. So it prompted me to explore peace. That peace that surpasses all understanding. So you don't have any worry in your life. Or we're all going to have worry in our lives. But that you're able to close your eyes at night and sleep. Where's that peace of mind come from? Well, Isaiah 26:30 says, perfect peace to those who keep their mind on God. Isn't that what I've just been talking about? We give it to God, we pray. Also, what else gives us a sense of peace? Finding that feeling safe or protected. Well, as a child, that would be the adult that gives you that sense of peace, your parent in your life. But as an adult, where do we get our sense of peace? Where do we get our sense of protection from? Well, Psalm 91 is a protection prayer. And the World War I soldiers of the 91st Brigade were told by their commanders to recite this Psalm 91 every day. It's a protection prayer. And they were in the 3 bloodiest battles, and there was no combat casualties, where other units experienced 90% casualty rate. Something to think about. What was the cause? Romans 8:31 said, if God is for me, who could be against me? Those kinds of statements make you feel confident and protected. Isaiah 54:16 says, no weapon formed against me will prosper, and every tongue raised against me in judgment, I condemn it. That gives us that power, that authority, that control that I was talking about. There are 365 references to being strong, courageous, firm, fear not, nor be dismayed, for God will be with you. He will not fail you, and he will not forsake you. John 16:33 says, you're going to have trials and tribulations and distress in your life and frustrations, but take courage, be confident, undaunted, for God has deprived the world of the power to harm you, and God will conquer it for you. So, hope that helps in a small way to have peace in your life, to have control in your life, to have choices in your life, and know when you don't. God bless and peace be with you.